Time of the SSC or the teacher recruitment scam. These are pictures coming in from Kolkata. We'll go across to Priyanka joining us with the latest details. Priyanka.
Well, that's right, Niranjan. In fact, we are picking up some more details as far as Arpita is concerned, and her name, in fact, had been coming to light when it comes to the evidences that the Enforcement Directorate was taking as well. And now, of course, these visuals also speak a very big story when it comes to the kind of evidences that have been collected by the Enforcement Directorate. The stacks of cash that had been recovered were from her residence itself, and the house and the mobile phones as well that have been taken into that had been seized by the Enforcement Directorate, that was also taken from her house as well. So she has now been officially placed under arrest, and we are expecting that she as well will be produced in this court right behind me, where Partha Chatterjee in fact has also been produced and has been given the ED custody till tomorrow. That is today and tomorrow. 2 days of ED custody is what he has been given, and on Monday he will be presented before the special PMLA court, where further custody, of course, of Partha Chatterjee will also be determined. And of course, as of now, we are also learning that there are several health issues that Partha Chatterjee has been citing inside of the courtroom, and he has stated that he is getting chest pains. So of course that is also being addressed, and which is why it's taking a lot more time. But apart from that, of course, the trouble getting a lot much bigger for Partha Chatterjee, because the evidences, the pieces of evidences are stacking up against them. There are several documentary evidences that have been seized by the Enforcement Directorate that also include, fake admit cards as well that had the government of West Bengal insignia as well. Apart from that, the kind of jewelry that has been seized, about 77 lakhs of jewelry that has been seized from Arpita's residence. Now, of course, as you very rightly pointed out, this is something that is being looked at as proceeds of crime, proceeds of the proceeds that have been made via the SSC scam, via the recruitment scam as well. And of course, a deeper nexus is now being investigated by the Enforcement Directorate, where they're looking into the counterparts of Partha Chatterjee who might have been working in close proximity with Partha Chatterjee along with Arpita as well. And there are several other names of the TMC leaders that have come to light already, of the current education minister. Apart from that, several other TMC leaders whose name has already come in under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate, who are likely to be called to the ED custody after Partha Chatterjee and Arpita as well, because today is the day where Partha Chatterjee's remand has been sought for. He is expected to be confronted with the documents that have been seized by the Enforcement Directorate from the houses of Arpita and Partha Chatterjee as well. Now, from Arpita's investigation with her evidences that have been recovered from her house as well, that is also something that is giving some more direction into the investigation, that has also proven several theories of the Enforcement Directorate, who have a working theory that Partha and Arpita had been working in close proximity with the SSC scandal as well, and that is why there are several documents as well linking them and working together that have also come to light. Apart from that, of course, digital evidence is going to be extremely crucial here, Niranjan. That has been taken by the Enforcement Directorate in the form of these 20 phones that had been recovered, and they will be scrutinized. They will be scrutinized to understand the kind of dubious financial transactions that had been carried out by Partha Chatterjee, the misappropriation of fund, and also how exactly this entire recruitment scandal had been carried on by the who's who of the political fraternity when it comes to the West Bengal government. So now that is a deeper nexus that Enforcement Directorate is now investigating into. They will be looking into, and that is exactly why they want Partha Chatterjee and Arpita's custody, so that they can be confronted with the documents, so that they can be confronted with the names as well that are coming to light, other names of the TMC leaders who had been working with Partha Chatterjee, in cahoots with Partha Chatterjee and Arpita as well. So all of those parts are now under the scrutiny of the Enforcement Directorate. But as of now, Partha Chatterjee's 2-day custody, a 2-day remand that has been given to ED, and on Monday he will be presented before the special PMLA court to further decide what really the kind of remand that he will be given.
Getting in some more breaking news as well. Before we take a break, details of Partha Chatterjee. Very senior Trinamool Congress leader complaining of chest pain while in ED custody, and he will be taken to the SSKM hospital. That's the update that we had from Kolkata. Partha Chatterjee taken to the SSKM hospital in Kolkata after he complained of chest pain. On that note, taking a short break here on Republic TV, coming back with the other big breaking stories on This Is Exclusive. Partha Chatterjee taken to SSKM hospital after complaining of chest pain. That's the latest update on the teacher recruitment scam in Kolkata, where 21 crore in cash has been recovered from someone who's very, very senior, his aide, Arpita, from her, and we're getting in some information that he complained of chest pain while in custody and he was hospitalized. We'll take a short break here on Republic. Coming back with the other big story of POK refugees reservation issue reaching the Home Ministry. Full details lined up on the show. A mass Friday of culture. Reigning government schools in Kishanganj allegedly shift their holidays to Friday, as we get you more details of the controversial decision.
उसमें आग लगी हुई है और आंदोलनकारी इस तरीके से
और कश्मीरी
Getting a cab these days is nearly impossible because half the time you don't get rides. Even if your cab gets booked, you're not sure when it is going to get cancelled or how much you're going to pay. Now, answering all this, Mind has come up with beautiful solutions whereby we don't have a surge rate here because they go by government prescribed rates. Not just that, Mind has a beautiful feature where you incentivize the driver, ensuring that he will come and pick you up on time. So, thanks Mind.
Rahul, you want to say anything about the questioning?
200 to 300 supporters are gathered here. They're trying to stop the car.
पूरी भीड़ नजर आ रही है और ये भीड़ बता रही है कि लोग रुकने वाले नहीं।
Karnataka Congress Chief DK Shiv Kumar says statement of Congress leader Ramesh Kumar on contribution of Gandhi family in the past has been misunderstood, even though his intentions were correct. Karnataka Congress Chief further clarifies Ramesh Kumar's statement, saying Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi would have become Prime Minister if they would have not sacrificed.
The statement of Mr. Ramesh Kumar has been misunderstood and miscredited. He has made it very clear about the contribution of Gandhi family and the growth of the people of this country from the decisions of the Gandhi family.
कांग्रेस मतलब was seen hitting the paramilitary personnel.
बड़ी तस्वीर आपको बता रहे हैं। पहले ये देखिए बाउंड्री गिर चुकी है।
और सुचिता दलाल the journalist who introduced you to Chitra Ramakrishnan.
A quick roundup from the world of sports. India beat West Indies by 3 runs in the first match in the 3-match ODI series being played in Spain.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream. With you everywhere. Republic Livestream, India's #1 streaming news.
Getting some breaking news now from Jammu and Kashmir, where a Srinagar court has summoned National Conference Chief and former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah and others in a cricket scam complaint filed by the Enforcement Directorate. Details coming in of Farooq Abdullah getting summons. Waiting for more details of when he's been summoned in the cricket scam by the Srinagar court. We'll take a short break and coming back with more details. This is the case where the Enforcement Directorate has also alleged irregularities. Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream with you everywhere. Republic live stream, India's #1 streaming news.
In another reaction from Congress MLA Wajib Ali on Sadhu Vijay Das's death, the Congress MLA allegedly blamed the administration for the incident. He further marked the incident as being very unfortunate.
जिस प्रकार से बाबा विजय दास जी ने आत्महत्या का प्रयास किया, ये बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। उन्होंने पहले ही चेतावनी दे दी और कई बार वार्ता भी हुई, उसके बावजूद उनका आत्महत्या का प्रयास प्रशासन की नजरों के सामने या तो निश्चित तौर पे ये प्रशासन की चूक है।
उसमें आग लगी हुई है और आंदोलनकारी इस तरीके से
और कश्मीरी
6 people were killed after 7 devotees of Kanwar Yatra were mowed down by a truck near Hathras in the state of Uttar Pradesh.
जो बाकी उनके साथी कांवड़िए हैं वो यहीं पर हैं, उनसे काफ़ी चर्चा बात हुई है और अभी बाकी जो कार्रवाइयाँ हैं, विधिक कार्रवाइयाँ हैं वो सब की जा रही हैं और इनका सबको ग्वालियर वापस भेजने का इंतजाम कराया जा रहा है.
While 5 people had been declared dead when the incident was reported, another passed away following treatment for severe injuries.
ये कोई ट्रक वाला इन पर चढ़ा के चला गया है. हम लोग खाना खा रहे थे पीछे ढाबा पे, हमको पता नहीं.
किसी की जान गई है?
हाँ, 4-5 लोगों की जान गई.
Further investigation in the incident is being undertaken by the police in the district. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
That is Christian Michel. First visuals on your scene. Christian, would you give facts to India?
Mr. Bhandari, just one question, sir.
Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer?
Andhra Pradesh's Greater Visakhapatnam.
ED questions TMC leaders in teacher recruitment scam. Did the Bengal minister misuse taxpayers' money? Watch Burning Question at 9 p.m.
Getting a very exclusive right now. Republic TV accessing the ED document on Partha Chatterjee. We've accessed a critical document, and the document that matters when it comes to the case in the teacher recruitment scam and the cash. The cash stash recovered from TMC leader Partha Chatterjee. Abhishek Kapoor, my colleague, joining us live right now with that document. Abhishek, what does it say?
Niranjan, so essentially, I have reached a couple of pages. Page number 4 of the 9-page document. Essentially, it encapsulates the entire scam in a couple of points. Narrates how the Calcutta High Court has actually monitored the entire probe. In fact, the CBI came in the picture only on the instructions of the Calcutta High Court. First, a single judge bench and then a division bench. And then it goes on to say that during the course of search at the residential premises of Partha Chatterjee, various incriminating documents relating to immovable properties in the name of Miss Arpita Mukherjee and her companies were recovered and seized. Niranjan, so imagine this 20 crore stash of cash that has been recovered is only a small part of it, because the remand document says, remand papers say that there are documents that have been recovered which talk about immovable property in the name of Arpita, which obviously she can't explain through her sources of income. The details of the said documents have been attached in this. And then it says that there are documents related to appointment of Group D staff. This is essentially the scam per se, which is about recruitment of teachers and Group C and D staff in government-aided schools across Bengal. This happened during the period when Partha Chatterjee was Minister for Education in 2016. And it says that admit cards of candidates, summary final results, testimonials, and for the post of clerk, Group D, Group C, among others, all those things have been found. Now, these materials, these documents have no business essentially being at the place from where they have been found, and that's why Partha Chatterjee needs to be questioned. So during the course of search of premises of Ms. Arpita Mukherjee, the address is given, 20 crores has been recovered. Then it goes on to say that during the course of investigation, it is revealed that Partha Chatterjee has been in regular contact with Arpita Mukherjee on the mobile number, and the proceeds of crime to the tune of rupees 20 crores which has been recovered from her premises was nothing but proceeds of crime, Niranjan. So the ED document clearly saying that the money that has been recovered is proceeds of crime. It has been connected directly with the scam, and questions need to be asked. The purpose and use of 20 mobile phones that have been recovered from the residence of Arpita Mukherjee, that needs to be ascertained. And during the course of investment, during the course of statement recorded in section 70 of the PMLA, Partha Chatterjee was confronted with the recoveries, but he has remained uncooperative. So one premise why his custodial questioning is needed is that when he was asked to submit himself to questioning on the instructions of the Calcutta High Court, he did not cooperate, he was uncooperative, and knowingly concealed the facts and circumstances of the case. Remember, Niranjan, and the viewers would remember, people in Bengal would remember, Partha Chatterjee's questioning has already happened in the month of April and May, and he did not tell the ED about all this money, all these documents. These have subsequently been found out over during the raids over the last 2 days. So the ED is saying that had he cooperated, he would not have concealed these documents and this cash and the material that has been found, and that's why there is prima facie suspicion that he's involved in the scam. That's why he needs to be questioned. Then it goes on to say that this is a commission of offence of money laundering by indulging in criminal conspiracy. So the ED then goes on to accuse Partha Chatterjee of money laundering along with Arpita Mukherjee, and this is in connection with the scam, obviously, of giving out of turn appointments to teachers and class C and class D, group C and D recruitments. And then ultimately it says that offence, it explains the offence of money laundering and gives its various sections under which the ED believes that Partha Chatterjee can be charged under the offence of money laundering, and of course others, but in this case this is about Partha Chatterjee. Then it goes on to narrate all the sections under which the ED is carrying out this investigation, and then the crucial part, Niranjan, which says why custody is needed: to ascertain the persons involved in generation and handling transfer of the said proceeds amounting to 20 crores. So from where the money came, who all gave the money, who were involved in transit and carrying the money, and this is called proceeds of crime. To confront the incriminating documents, basically whatever documents have been recovered, to confront Partha Chatterjee with those documents and to ask him these documents are there, why they are there, and to ascertain the trail of proceeds of crime, to ascertain further beneficiaries, whether the money ended here or the money or other money has been given to some other accused also. That accordingly it is submitted respectfully that the accused person is required in remand. So these are all the details, Niranjan. 9-page document of the Enforcement Directorate essentially alleging that whatever has been recovered by way of money and documents is proceeds of crime, and Partha Chatterjee needs to tell them in custody, because he has not done this otherwise, that from where all this money came and where it was destined to.
Yeah. Abhishek, in fact, one of the paragraphs here reads, and I have the details with me before I go across to Priyanka. It says that Shri Partha Chatterjee and Ms. Arpita Mukherjee were found involved in the commission of offence of money laundering. So that's the Enforcement Directorate telling the court that Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee were found involved in the commission of offence of money laundering by indulging in criminal conspiracy for the object of illegally giving jobs for post of assistant teachers in class 9 to 12 and also in primary teachers, adding that they generated huge proceeds of crime, and for having knowingly indulged, assisted, involved and being part in the process and activity connected to the proceeds of crime indulging, including concealment, possession, acquisition, use and projecting and claiming the said proceeds of crime as untainted property deriving illegally the monetary gains and hence committed offence of money laundering. So it's a very serious charge, money laundering charge, Priyanka, that we are seeing being levelled against Partha Chatterjee, one of the senior-most leaders of the Trinamool Congress.
Not just that, Niranjan. In fact, we are seeing in this particular document that has been accessed by us, we are seeing the kind of details of the documents as well that have been seized by the Enforcement Directorate, because it categorically talks about the admit cards as well of the Group D staff, that is of the teachers as well, whose fake admit cards had also been made, which had the West Bengal government insignia as well. So those documents have also been categorically been mentioned in this remand application by the Enforcement Directorate. So this of course also confirms the kind of information that we had been putting out for our viewers since yesterday as well, the kind of seizures that have been made by Enforcement Directorate and what it really means, what each piece of document would really goes on to tell us about the entire nexus of Partha Chatterjee along with Arpita Banerjee, along with several other leaders whose name are coming to light, including the current Education Minister of the West Bengal government. Apart from that, several names in fact have come to light when it comes to the modus operandi of this entire recruitment scam and the kind of documentary evidences that have been seized from Partha Chatterjee's house. Now, this has been mentioned in the remand application by the Enforcement Directorate, and that really tells us the kind of how Arpita and Partha Chatterjee in fact had been working together in cahoots, because this has not just been mentioned about Partha Chatterjee's residence, but also fake admit cards and several other documentary pieces of evidences that have been collected from Arpita Mukherjee's house as well. So that has been also mentioned in this remand application, and in that we have also learned how Arpita has been placed under arrest by the Enforcement Directorate, and she is likely to be produced in the court right behind me, where Partha Chatterjee in fact is also present right now, from where he had been given the custody for 2 days to Enforcement Directorate. But since then we are seeing that he has been complaining of chest pains as well. So of course that procedure is also taking a little longer. But the fact that the ED has been granted 2-day custody and the kind of details that we have seen in the remand application really tell us the kind of course of inquiry and the kind of investigation that the Enforcement Directorate will now from this point further will be carrying out, because they have all the documents as well that have been mentioned in this remand application, and those will be the documents that will be used to confront Partha Chatterjee as well, because there are fake admit cards. Now this is one part of this entire pieces of evidences that have been recovered. If we talk about the fake admit cards as well, those will be used to confront Partha Chatterjee, those will be used to confront Arpita as well. And in fact we had also been learning that over the past 2 days Partha Chatterjee had been asked several questions by the Enforcement Directorate officials, and they had said that he is not cooperating, and now that had been the main point for which Enforcement Directorate had been seeking remand of Partha Chatterjee, because they said that he's not cooperating, he's being extremely evasive, and he's not really giving straight answers to the kind of documentation as well that has been seized from his entire residential houses and also from his offices as well, because there are several places where the raids had been conducted, and to the tune of 20 crore is what the cash has also been recovered. So all of these pieces of evidences that have been seized by the Enforcement Directorate over the course of last 48 hours will be used to confront them, and these have been categorically mentioned in the remand application as well, and that really tells us a deeper nexus that had been at play, the deeper nexus of the West Bengal government machinery, and who really had been in cahoots with Partha Chatterjee along with Arpita Mukherjee as well, because names are coming out, several names in fact who are under the scrutiny of Enforcement Directorate. Those names will also be used to confront Partha Chatterjee, to understand how much role did they play and how much role did Partha Chatterjee also play. So those are the kind of details that we are expecting to come out of the interrogation that will be carried out of Partha Chatterjee in the custody of Enforcement Directorate.
Okay, thank you for joining us with those details, Priyanka and Abhishek. We'll take a short break and come back, and Shravan will also be joining us live as we get you the latest details of what the Enforcement Directorate has said in court about the case against Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee. Charges are serious, including that of money laundering directly on Partha Chatterjee. Let me see if Shravan is live. I'll try and go across to him. Shravan, if you can hear me. Shravan, can you hear me? Okay, let's see if Shravan can hear me. We'll try and go across to him. And we're getting in full details of what the Enforcement Directorate has said for the first time on record. These are details available with Republic TV. Partha Chatterjee has said, ED has said that Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee were found involved in the commission of offence of money laundering, that they indulged in criminal conspiracy. Shravan, going through the details, gone through, we have this document with us right now, and it's perhaps the first time that they've gone on record to make these direct charges of money laundering. Shravan. Okay, let me see if Shravan, can you hear me? Shravan, checking if you're getting my audio. Shravan? Okay.
Yes, Niranjan.
Yeah, yes. Shravan, take us through what the Enforcement Directorate has said in court.
Well, in fact, let me just take you through some of the details that are coming in from this particular document that has been accessed. What are the basic charges? Now, if you really look at the fact that this is not just what the agencies essentially had indicated about the role of Partha Chatterjee. It is also based on the instructions that were basically given by the Calcutta High Court that the Central Bureau of Investigation had basically filed 2 FIRs. In fact, if I'm not wrong, Niranjan, we've also played out details of that particular FIR on this is exclusive. These are the details because that FIR actually gives you a sense of what were the illegality all about. Now, I'll try and flesh this out from the document that we have accessed. Let me know, Niranjan, if we have already put out the document for our viewers to understand what exactly I'm talking about. Because in the document that we have right now, this is what the Enforcement Directorate has basically told the court in Kolkata. They are saying that the High Court of Calcutta had earlier passed orders for the CBI investigation for the illegal appointments of the non-teaching staff, which is Group C and Group D, and teaching staff from classes 9 to 12 by the West Bengal Central School Service Commission and West Bengal Board of Secondary Education. Now, that's the premise based on which this FIR was registered. Thereafter, Partha Chatterjee was actually called in for questioning by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Let's move to the other big point that's basically emerging from this particular charge sheet that has been accessed. So now this is what they are saying. Various complaints were received by the Enforcement Directorate, but it is alleged that the then Education Minister Partha Chatterjee, in connivance with his associates, looted huge money by selling off government jobs. So what is it that the Enforcement Directorate is saying? They are saying that it is the money that was basically looted by Partha Chatterjee. It's a direct allegation that's been leveled by the Enforcement Directorate, and they're saying they have got evidence to that effect. They were selling government jobs. They've detailed this out. Primary teachers, assistant teachers for classes 9 to 12 laundered the same through companies and proprietorship firms running in the name of different persons. They also say that inputs received also indicated towards the laundering of the proceeds of crime through Arpita Mukherjee, a close associate of Partha Chatterjee. Now, we are also given to understand that this is exactly what we had told our viewers earlier in the day, Niranjan. In fact, we were the only network with this detail, and perhaps, it's lost in the translation, or for that matter, not many have been able to pick on this news break of Republic TV, and I'll tell you why. The recovery of admit cards is a massive, I would say it's a massive shot in the arm for the Enforcement Directorate. And in a way, perhaps this is one such case with the kind of evidence that they've got from the first raids that were carried out. It has only strengthened this case of the Enforcement Directorate to such an extent where the culpability of various people have now come under question. Now, take a look at what are they saying in terms of the recovery, and I would try to explain this, why this is so very important. They are saying various incriminating documents related to the appointment of Group D staff was also recovered from the residential premises of Partha Chatterjee. So let's put this out. For the first time, the detail that is coming in terms of what was found at Partha Chatterjee's residence. For those who are raising this question that look here, nothing was found from Partha Chatterjee's residence. This is what was found from Partha Chatterjee's house. Admit cards of the candidates. Summary of the final results in CW 3rd RSLT NT 2016 for the post of Group D staff. Intimation letter for the verification of testimonials and personality test for the post of clerk of Indranil Bhattacharya. List of candidates of Group D post at the letterhead of Shri Ananto Dev Adhikari. Admit card of the 3rd regional level selection test 2016 for non-teaching staff of a person who goes by the name of Samapati Thakur. Applications form for recruitment of clerk and Group D staff in respect of Sampati Thakur. A list of 48 candidates of upper primary teacher with roll numbers which indicate that Partha Chatterjee is actively involved in the appointment of Group D staff. Now that's in terms of indictment. I would rephrase this, not really indictment, but it's in a way, it's certainly emboldens the enforcement directorate to go ahead with the decision to arrest Partha Chatterjee. Now what has happened is that generally what would have happened, Niranjan, is that enforcement directorate would not have made an arrest immediately after the searches. When their ECIR is registered, which is the FIR equivalent, they carry out searches. It is only after the analysis of whatever items that have been recovered and certain people whose statements have been statements who have been recorded. It's only after that the enforcement directorate makes the next step, that whether at all there is a need for arrest, and the need for arrest only stems from the fact that they have got some sort of an evidence. In this case, this was done in a rapid manner. The moment the searches were carried out yesterday. In less than 24 hours, Partha Chatterjee has been placed under arrest simply because they believe that the evidence that they have clearly raises questions about the role that Partha Chatterjee has played as a minister.
Okay. Thank you for that, Shravan. Stay with me. Taking a short break right now. Shravan breaking down the details of all the enforcement directorate cases against Partha Chatterjee. We'll take a short break here on Republic, coming back with the details of the case and the pictures, the visuals, the details of the raid, the number of boxes in which cash has been recovered. Full details on Republic. Stay tuned. Smriti hitting back at the Congress party for targeting her daughter, says she will challenge the Congress in court.
Wherever you are, whenever you...
ಮೈ ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಒಂದು ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಲಾಂಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಆಟೋ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಹೊಸ ಅನುಭವ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ದಿರ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಟೋ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ 29 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಾಗೂ ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ 499 ರೂಪಾಯಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಮಿಷನ್ 30% ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ದಿರ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ದಿರ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಪಾದನೆ ಹಣನ ನಾವು ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ನಾವು ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟ ಹಣ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನನ್ನ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ದುಡಿಮೆ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic live stream with you everywhere. Republic live stream, India's #1 streaming news.
Germany's reserve players took to the training pitch in London the morning after a